that being said, I want to emphasize again that there's remarkable diversity. So, we're not talking about all the schools. Yafed famously listed 39 schools. They actually, in their report, they list, what each school teaches. And the reason I even got involved with this to begin with was being in one of those schools and seeing that they teach tons of stuff that Yafed claimed that they didn't. And the more I investigated, the more I realized that Yafed just kind of made this all up and they don't actually have first-hand experience. I later saw documents from the city that indicated that in interviews that were on the record, Yafed members only had first-hand experience with 11 schools. And of the 39, only 28 actually existed. Many of them were just administrative offices for schools already on the list, or preschools that are not under this requirement, or post-high school institutions that are, again, not under this requirement. A couple of them were just random, a nutritionist's office and a butcher shop.
One was a butcher shop, yeah.
Yeah. The Satmer Fleischgeschäft. So they didn't really have a lot of first-hand knowledge, and I think that happens a lot. When you have people who have gone through various experiences of their own, they tend to generalize widely from their own experiences and sometimes incorrectly. And so, for example, in this one school that was the trigger for me to get involved to begin with, they had said they only teach English and math. And I was watching one of the best classes of civics that I have seen. Because I teach a class in my department called Problem and Project-Based Learning, and what they were doing was exactly that. So they had all of the kids in the class were taught all of the rules of how our governmental system works, and they divided up in the class into a Senate and a House of Representatives and a President and a Supreme Court and a Vice President, and they could pass laws in their class for the governance of their class, and the teacher allowed them to run the classroom, but only as a representative democracy with a Congress and with a Supreme Court that judged things. And to see these kids arguing over the wording of the law and whether one part was constitutional or not constitutional after they had developed their own classroom constitution, while they were learning other subjects, was actually really impressive. And I talked to these kids, and I videotaped them, and they could tell you probably more than a incoming congressman about how the system works.